Hey y'all, it's me, Ms. Lizzie, bringing you that YouTube exclusive content, and today we are delving into the standard format on MTG Arena. The deck you see before you is a fairly new strategy revolving around the card Breakout. Breakout says, for a red and a green sorcery, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them. If that card has mana value 2 or less, you may put it onto the battlefield and it gains haste until end of turn, and if you don't do that, you put it into your hand and then you put the rest of the cards on the bottom. So the main thing we're trying to do with Breakout is essentially cheat a few things into play. Namely, Uharis the Stormspinner, also known as Spider-Man 2099, and Benevolent River Spirit. So Benevolent River Spirit is a 2-mana 4/5 Flying War 2, which normally is, of course, very crazy, but it does have this additional cost to cast, which is Waterbend 5. So essentially you have to tap 5 creatures, lands, or artifacts to be able to cast this normally. But if you hit it off a Breakout, you get to forego that step entirely. Similarly, with Uharis, you can't cast it on the first, second, or third turns of the game, but there's nothing that says you can't put it on the battlefield with Breakout on the second turn of the game. So yeah, essentially we're trying to find a Breakout early, cast it, get one of these things into play well before you're supposed to be able to get them into play, and then win the game like that. We have a number of ways to utilize Uharis, namely Wild Ride. So Wild Ride is a sorcery that says target creature gets +3/+0 and gains haste, but it also has Harmonize. So for those who don't know, Uharis says at the beginning of your end step, if you've played a land or cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So of course, if you cast Wild Ride on him, he's got 5 power, and then you can Harmonize it, put him to 8 power, and suddenly you're dealing 8 damage on your end step, which is pretty crazy. Also, of course, he has Vigilance, so if you cast him and then Wild Ride him, you can attack for 10, because that's 5 with Double Strike, and then flashback the Wild Ride, deal another 8 on their end step, and chances are they're going to be dead from that. We also have Questing Druid for a similar effect, just to trigger our Uharis, and Aloe Alchemist, as I wanted to try out a plot creature in this deck, and most of them are frankly really bad, but Aloe Alchemist seemed like the one that was the least bad, I would say. But of course, it's another way to get trample onto Uharis, which is pretty strong given that he has Double Strike naturally. We also have Inti for a similar idea, and the rest of the deck is just a bit of interaction and a bit of things to smooth out the curve. Namely, we have Firebending Lesson to deal 2 and sometimes 5 damage, Flood Mod to deal with whatever, Spell Pierce to counter, whatever, and then we have 4 Spyglass Siren. I felt it was good to just have a 1-mana creature in this deck. The lists I have been seeing didn't have this, but for a few reasons. Mostly, I think you want to be able to utilize something like Wild Ride kind of fairly. You don't want to just be drawing cards all the time that don't do anything. And so having a 1-mana flyer is like an okay way to do that. It also makes 2 permanents for hard casting Benevolent River Spirit, which, again, like if you just fill your deck with cards that don't do anything on their own, you're just going to have a lot of bad draws. So I felt it was valuable to include something like that. Moving on to the sideboard, we have a couple Detect Intrusion to counter board wipes and whatnot. We got Pyroclasm to deal with small creatures. A bunch of Keen-Eye Curators. We got 4 copies in the sideboard. Graveyard Hate is pretty strong right now. There's the Reanimator deck running around and the Lessons deck that both suffer from Graveyard Hate. And this guy, you can find him off Breakout, which is pretty big. So yeah, he's my go-to for that. We have a couple Torch to Tower for more small creatures. Some Insidious Fungus as a way to answer artifacts and enchantments that is again findable off Breakout. 1 Negate for control matchups, and again, for controlled matchups, a couple Chandra Spark Hunter. Just a fair card that I've liked in the past. Control decks, of course, look a little different than when I used to play this card, but I think it still might be good. So that's the deck, and let's get into the games. Loading into match 1 against the Barnacle. We are on the draw with Temur Breakout, and our hand has no lands. Well, I may not know much about this deck, but I know that that is not going to work. Let's mulligan. And here we have a bunch of Willow Rush Verges and a bunch of Breakouts. I mean, yeah, I think we'll keep. We do want these Breakouts. We just need to find some red and some green mana, but we can cast an Aloe Alchemist, so sure. And I'll put back one of these Verges because they're not useful to us until we find another land, so that's fine. We have a turn 1 Warden of the Inner Sky. That's interesting. Okay, we drew another Spirit. That's frankly really bad. Certainly not what we want. Opponent is popping off with a bunch of little dudes. Not to worry, there's a Stomping Ground on top. No, it's another Willow Rush Verge. Okay. Not feeling great about our chances. They've got a Cosmic Grand Zenith. Yeah, we're probably gonna pack this one up pretty quickly. Alright, and we drew a Spell Pierce. So, yep, that's gonna do it for game 1. Little unlucky there, I have to say. We drew only... We bottomed a River Spirit, and we bottomed a Willow Rush Verge, and that's all we drew. But anyway, so I'm going to say that Spell Pierce and Into the Floodmoss seem pretty bad against this, but I do like Torch the Tower, and yeah, I think I do like Pyroclasm as well. It would have been good there on a couple of those turns, so I think, yeah, we'll have faith that it will be decent, and then hopefully, yeah, we're just going to deal with their early pressure and be able to go over the top with like a Spirit or something. Let's try that. On the play for game 2, let's see what we've got. Okay, so again with these River Spirits in hand, our mana's a little bit better. We have a Questing Druid and 2 Firebending Lessons. Yeah, I think we do keep. These Verges are not turned on by anything still, but I think this is a better spot than the last game. They do give us a Spyglass Siren to go after. I think I will just take that. Their deck relies on having a bunch of stuff in play, so I think that's decent. Okay, we found an Uharis. It's pretty alright, I guess. Can cast that turn 4. Alright, and another pretty good spot for Firebending Lesson. Now their Mockingbird copy is nothing. Not too bad. Okay, here we go. Now we might actually be able to do things. We have all our colors. We're about to cast Seek the Beast and then probably into Uharis. Depending on what we hit, that could be pretty devastating. Let's have a look. Alright, not a problem. So yeah, we can cast a couple things here. Yeah, I think we're just gonna cast the Aloe Alchemist, cast the Uharis, and take out their Mockingbird. Doesn't seem too bad. It would have been cool to hit like Wild Ride there, of course. Then we would have really gone crazy, killed the Cosmic Grand Zenith, dealt them a bunch of damage, but we will take what we can get. Do they have some kind of interactive spell? Okay, they're just gonna play Mockingbird and then presumably, yep, another creature. Make a couple things there. Fair enough. Ooh, that seems pretty good. Oh yeah, okay. Pyroclasm was a crazy draw there. So yeah, sorry, Aloe Alchemist. You're going bye-bye. And then, yeah, we can attack for free. So they basically are deciding here if they want to take 2 damage or 4 damage. They decided on 4 damage. Very interesting, because we do get to cast the Questing Druid, which is from exile, so that allows us to trigger Uharis, which is very cool. And we can finally start casting these River Spirits now. I have another Cosmic Grand Zenith. Ooh, and a Halia. Oh, that's almost really good. It doesn't trigger the, they don't get to draw a card off it, so it's okay. But, oh, and we drew a Questing Druid. I like that. Yeah, do we want to just play that? We could also just cast this River Spirit. I mean, maybe it's time, although, I don't know, they're about to start going kind of crazy. Maybe I do need to actually find something. Oh, we found Wild Ride. That's probably pretty good. Yeah, that's definitely very good. Okay. Sure. So, yeah, I think we're gonna go Wild Ride on the Uharis attack, and then cast the Spyglass Siren. All the while triggering Questing Druid a bunch, which is cool. They certainly will chump with the 1/1, I'm sure, but that is okay. I mean, this is pretty cool. Feels like we're doing powerful stuff. I mean, cast Spyglass Siren. I'm just gonna leave this map in play. I want it to cast my River Spirit, because we might be able to do something interesting with like the River Spirit and the Wild Ride. Attack for a bunch of damage in the air. Seems reasonable. Play a Quantum Riddler. It does cost them 2 life to do that, which is kind of funny. And now let's see. So the River Spirit, yeah, so we could cast it and Wild Ride it, which seems pretty good to me. Because here we go. We can go Spyglass Siren, and then River Spirit, tapping all this stuff. Yep, like that. Inti seems good. I'll keep Inti. Don't care about the land. And then, yeah, let's harmonize with that guy and target the spirit. Gonna attack with that for 7. They just take the damage, and then, yeah, I don't really care about their 1/1 too much, I don't think. Let's just go for their face. And we're looking pretty good. They might be able to gain, like, some life with Halia, but it probably won't be enough. Sure. They're at 5 now. Up to 6. It doesn't seem horrible. Let's play Inti. Should probably use some maps here. Okay, we hit a land, sure. If we can get this to 5 power here, that's really good. Questing Druid, meh. Don't care about that right now. I shouldn't have played this, but whatever. Yeah, we're gonna attack with everything. Discard here. I think we're just supposed to target the Questing Druid. I don't know what they can do. I think they'll be dead, right? Surely they'll be dead if we do that, right? I mean, they're dead if they block like this. Okay, cool. So it works out. Okay, yeah, that was cool. That was definitely cool. We didn't even break out into anything. We just kind of popped off with Uharis, which is neat. All right, resubmit. Maybe this time we will actually do the thing we're trying to do. All right, a bunch of removal, but no red mana. I think we have to send this back, unfortunately. It looks awesome. Like, if we had a red mana, this hand is, like, close to perfect, but yeah, not gonna work. Okay, and no lands in this hand. Sure, let's go with this. Yeah, and I think we're just supposed to keep a couple firebending lessons and the breakout. We could keep the wild ride, like try to just high roll, like hit Uharis off the breakout and just try to like kill them basically. How good is 2 firebending lessons really? The first one is better than the second one. Okay, sure. Let's go with that. Found an Inti. That could actually be really good, depending how good this breakout is. Oh, opponent is missing their second land drop. All right, maybe there's a shred of hope. Come on, breakout. Let's have some fun. Yes, okay, here we go. Benevolent River Spirit on the battlefield for 2 mana. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I don't think I care about any of these. 4/5, Flying, Ward 2, Haste. Wow, super cool. Okay, I like that. Opponent has Halia into Novice Inspector. I mean, that's, yeah, decent. We found another breakout. Oh, okay, let's do it. Uharis this time? Oh, another River Spirit. Okay, okay. Wow. That's kind of crazy. All right. Yeah, bottom. I think we're just looking for like Uharis here, but I mean, yeah, that's pretty crazy. And next turn we have Inti and Wild Ride to hopefully put them away. Don't really see how they are going to overcome that. They would need something like a split up here, but they don't have the mana for it. Just warping a Riddler. All right. Looks like we got them. And we'll just go crazy here for the hell of it. Nice. Okay, well, that was pretty cool, I have to admit. Hitting the Spirit Guide off both our breakouts. Yeah, that felt powerful for sure. Obviously, it was a high roll, but that is what this deck is capable of. Loading into match 2 against Compulsive One. We are 1-0 with Temur Breakout. On the play, let's check it out. I see we have a 1-drop, we have a Breakout. Looks good to me. Finally, a reasonable 7. We do have 1 River Spirit in hand, but here we have the Spyglass Siren to help us cast it. I don't feel too bad about that. And we got Spire Bluff into Storm Chasers, so this could be the classic Lessons deck. Let's see what our breakout can hit. Come on, something cool. Oh, alright, just a Spyglass Siren. Well, I mean, we're pretty close to casting this River Spirit, so that's not too bad, I guess. Taking a bunch of damage, and next card was the River Spirit. Of course it was, Alright, well, let's break out again. Maybe we hit Uharis. Okay, we do, or a River Spirit. Ooh, which one do we actually like better? Let's do some math real quick. So what I'm seeing is, if we hit them for 6 here, they go to 12, and then next turn we can go Quantum Riddler Wild Ride to probably kill them. So yeah, that seems good to me. We just need 1 land here. These are not lands, I'm noticing. But I guess we also have lethal if we just hit a spell off our map, so seems okay. Hopefully, I'm hoping they're just gonna cast like, I don't know, Monument to Endurance here or something. That would be nice. Oh, okay, so they went for 1 damage there. Okay, so that does stop me from having lethal, unfortunately. We're at 8. I have to be careful. Spell Pierce, don't think that helps me. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna map up here a little bit. It doesn't really help me either. So they need to cast 3 spells to actually kill me. So I think we're good here. We'll just hit them for 6, and then I'm like really unlikely to die this turn. Maybe what'll happen is they cast Boomerang Basics and pay the ward, in which case they'll be dead to the Riddler, so I think this isn't too bad for me. I mean, they are in a lot of trouble as we speak. I mean, they're at 6. I have a 6-power flyer. They have to figure out something, and they don't have it. All right. Not bad. Okay, so this Lessons deck, yeah, I think we do want all our Keen-Eyed Curators. What I've been finding is that, like, the Trample isn't that relevant against them. So I just cut these Trample-y guys and bring in the Keen-Eyed Curator. I keep all the Firebending Lessons to deal with Grand, and then I do like Insidious Fungus. I think Into the Floodmaw is pretty bad against them. So we'll bring in a couple Fungus to deal with the Monuments and the Artist Talents, and we'll run it like that. Opening hand is not bad. It doesn't have a Breakout, but I don't think I'm going to mulligan it. We can do like fun Riddler Wild Ride things. We found a Questing Druid. That's not bad either. Keen-Eyed Curator, pretty cool. I think I'm going to wait on Questing Druid here and just use my map token. A river spirit, that looks like a bin to me. Yeah, not very interested in that. And then we'll play out our fungus. Seems like they just have like an anticipate here probably. Or a quench. Okay, that's fine. Not really concerned about getting that quenched. Here is Gran. And an Iroh's demonstration that did not do anything. Interesting. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna go for my questing druid here. They can probably get Gran online here, but I'm not that worried about it. Okay, that's a little bit scary. Yeah, oh well. Like the fact they get to trigger it here and possibly turn on Gran. Okay, they didn't turn on Gran at least. And we have a questing druid. Let's see if they have like a spell pierce. Nope. Alright, we hit a couple river pyre verges. Oh, but we do have an Uharis. Oh, wait a minute. Are they dead? Did we just find lethal? I think we may just have. Yup, it looks that way. Alright. Wild Ride on the Uharis. Attack for 12. I mean, we don't even have to do this, but let's do it anyway. Flashback the Wild Ride. End step deal 8. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, that's pretty crazy. Huh, I just have to sit here and marvel at that for a second. So that was just a turn 4 kill out of nowhere. Alright, I like it. Loading into match 3 against Roger 321. We are 2-0 with Temur Breakout on the play. And yep, I see a turn 2 Breakout I keep. Fortunately, we can't play our Spyglass Siren on turn 1, but I think that's okay. And it's a breeding pool on top. I think that's fine. More lands are pretty good here. It looks like we have a mono-red deck of sorts. Well, let's break out and see what we hit. We hit a spirit. I love it. And I think I'm pretty down for Uharis here. Yeah, for sure. Next turn, I'd say we're likely gonna do something like Aloe Alchemist plot on the spirit, attack for 7, and then like Firebending Lesson. So that we can play our Uharis on the following turn. Let's go for that. Hit for 7. Let's deal with this Emberheart Challenger. And yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. See what kind of 3-drop they might have. I mean, like a 4-5 with Ward 2. Like, I don't think they can ever kill that in their deck. It'd be really, really hard. Just a Nova Hellkite. Alright. So we go to 10. And yeah, let's go Uharis the Storm Spinner. Play the Aloe Alchemist. Play the Spyglass Siren. Play our land tapped. And then, just to be safe, we'll kill this Bastronaut. Should certainly be good enough. Unless they have Hidetsugu's second right. They did not have that, though. Cool. Alright. Quick game 1 against Mono Red there. Certainly... Yeah, so we definitely want these Torch to Towers. I think Spell Pierce is not super good. And then I do like Pyroclasm as well. We can just cut. I want to say, I kind of like how Aloe Alchemist plays there with the Uharis. Into the Floodmaw is okay. Maybe that could get cut. Or just like Inti. Or the, oh no, sorry, we'll cut these Quantum Riddlers. I don't think we'll have time for them. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Cool. Do I want to do anything weird like, just like 2 mana 3/3 here? No, I think Into the Floodmaw is fine enough. We'll just keep it. And we want to keep our Wild Ride stuff, I think, for just like out of nowhere kills. It seems like a valuable thing to have against a red deck. On the draw for game 2, let's see if we can get some removal in our opener. Yep, it looks like we can. Yeah, this hand's really good. This hand does all the things. I think I will just play this tapped turn 1, take the opportunity to get my tap line in play, and assume that the Pyroclasm is going to be good here. They play any... Okay, well... I was going to say, if they play any 2-drop here, it's pretty good. But then they played the one that it is not good against. But honestly, it's still fine. Do I want to just randomly plot Aloe Alchemist here to set up for turn 4? I think actually I do want to do that. It looks a little weird for sure. Oh, I have to target. That's fine. But yeah, I think it's decent. And then the hope is just, yeah, okay, cool. I like this. Oh, I like, okay, alright. This is really good. So we're just going to wipe their whole board here. We'll take 3 damage in the to do so, but, like, that's fine. Pyroclasm here. And then Firebending Lesson on the Magebane Lizard. Pretty solid turn. We don't have that much follow-up, but we do have the Uharis, so it's not nothing. Opponent just passes. Okay, I like that for me. Do I hold off is the question. Because, like, it seems... it would make sense for their hand to be like removal spells here, and so I'd just be like playing Uharis to deal them 2 damage, which doesn't seem that valuable. So I could just wait and see. Yeah, I think I like that actually. We'll just pass. Play a bit of a slower game, and they're lightning striking our face, so kind of happy that I did that. Are they gonna lightning strike me again? They are burst lightning me. Okay, I'm at 7. They have no cards in hand. Let's see what they can come up with. Just a nothing. All right. Well, they might have drawn a removal spell, but it's fine. Now I'm gonna go for the Uharis and the Aloe Alchemist and just, you know, try to put some pressure on them. Looks like, oh, they're just lightning striking my face. Huh. Alright. Pretty bold. Hope it works out for them. It has worked out for them. They top deck a Sunspine Links. Wow. Okay. I guess they played to their outs. Yeah. Can't be too mad about that, I guess. It was that or like Nova Hellkite also did it to me, so... Okay. Yeah, sure. Seems reasonable. I don't have a single basic land in my deck, so Sunspine Links is going to be pretty good against me. But yeah, okay. Sure. Game 3. On the play for game 3. Let's see if we can break out. No breakout, but we have a bit of removal. Yeah, sure. It's not bad. Hopefully we can find something like, not that. Not another spirit. Something like a questing druid here would be pretty good. Actually don't mind Spyglass Siren at all. I'm going to go for the same thing here. That resolves. Opponent has not really learned their lesson, it seems. But we're going to get them pretty good with this Pyroclasm. And we get to play our Spyglass Siren, which is pretty nice. Okay, Nova Hellkite there. Definitely a punish. And we will now cast Uharis, hoping that we hit a spell here. We hit a land. Okay, well, what can you do? Yeah, this being still in range of Lightning Strike kind of sucks here. But they had Iroh's Demonstration anyway, so whatever. Not drawing super well here. I'm going to play the Willow Rush Verge. I want to be able to Firebending Lesson on the Nova Hellkite if they go for that. I think it'd be too awkward to just, like, not have that up. A Mage Bane. Okay, well, same difference. We are only drawing lands here, which is really, really not good. Breakout's just not that awesome either. I mean, it is if we hit a spirit, but there's already one in our bin and one in our hand. I think we have to graveyard this, and yeah. I mean, we're gonna cast our spirit. We'll be at, like, 6 or whatever. We'll have a blocker for the Hellkite. Can we drew question? Yeah. So we just shock this in. We play our River Spirit. Hopefully, they don't just remove it and hit us. Like, we might block and then they remove it after. I think that's our best line. I think it seems like they have Burst Lightning in hand. Okay, definitely bottoming 2 lands. And then, I don't know, maybe we can just hit the Uharis or something. Shock my face. Alright. They really like doing that. Let's see. Okay. Alright, opponent. Just do it to me. Oh, man. Alright. I mean, it's not like we were in a great spot anyway, but it is funny that back-to-back games, they just top-deck the Sunspine Links for a victory. Loading into match 4 against Kyrion. We are 2-1 with Temur Breakout on the play. Let's see what we've got. Not enough lands. That's what we have. This hand is fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's not super exciting, but I will certainly keep it. Probably going to bottom Stomping Ground. Just keep a bit of interaction. Try to high roll with the Wild Ride. You know how it goes. Hopefully we just top deck a Breakout. That'd be great. Oh, Authority of the Consuls. That's not very nice. Benevolent River Spirit. Gonna have to be a bin there. We're really far off casting it. So Authority's like decent against Breakout, I guess. I mean, we don't get to attack with the thing we hit, but it's also really good against Wild Ride. Kind of annoying, have to say. We do have an Into the Floodmaw in hand if we think that, like, one of these turns we could really get them. Okay, a correction, we have 2 Into the Floodmaws. Our hand full of interaction, not gonna look super good against what appears to be a control deck. I'd love to draw, like, Questing Druid type cards here, it'd be really nice, or Inti. Alright, we'll draw on lands. I mean, lands are not necessarily bad, because we could draw into something like a Quantum Riddler, or Questing Druid. Pretty decent, too. Opponent has all the time in the world to cast stock ups. I mean, in this case, they're going to have to discard a card, which is kind of funny, but And, so I'm sort of tempted to just use Floodmaw here because if we draw Uharis, we'll have lethal. Yeah, why not? Why not? Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Oh, and actually, it makes him discard. Actually, that's really smart. I didn't even consider that, but yeah, flood mawing the authority back to their hand means they have to discard 2 cards, so it's actually not even card disadvantage for us. You know, they did end up discarding the authority, so, you know, in a way, we removed it permanently. Not too upset about that. I like when you make a play that is just for the memes, but then you realize it's actually probably the right line. Maze Mind Tome is here. I think I actually should just cast this Fire Bending Lesson because we can draw Quantum Riddler and we want to just be able to draw 2 off of it. Questing Druid, that's the kind of card we're after. Lightning Helix on the Spyglass Siren, sure. We're probably going to be staring at each other for a while. I mean, if this Questing Druid doesn't resolve, I'm likely just going to concede to save time and energy. Is this the right time to use my Questing Druid? I think so, yeah. Oh, 2 lands. Very exciting. I think the moment they present any kind of threat, yeah, Curse Recording, good enough for me. I'm gonna concede to preserve my own sanity. We have a lot of good choices for sideboarding, so yeah, let's get into that. So of course, yeah, Chandra's pretty nice, Negate's pretty nice, Detect Intrusion pretty nice. I think Fungus is pretty nice too. As for what isn't nice, I think we likely want to go down a Wild Rider too, especially if they have Authority of the Consoles. I don't want to cut all of them. There's just so much high roll potential. But yeah, and then like Aloe Alchemist seems pretty mid. We'll keep the 2 Flood Maws. They showed us like Curse Recording and stuff, so I think it's not bad to have. Then yeah, the rest of our stuff is pretty decent. I have to say I'm pretty happy to get the control matchup here. It feels like something that you'd want to test with a deck like this that's basically all in on playing creatures. Alright, we have a 1-drop, we have a Breakout. Just have to make sure, yeah. So if we play Starting Town turn 1 into River Pyroverge, that does give us Breakout mana and Spyglass Siren mana. So that should be all good. See if they have the Authority turn 1, just tap land. Alright, so now's our chance. If we can hit well off this Breakout, and then have counter magic backup. We hit Inti and Quantum as interesting. Yeah, I guess I'll put Inti in. Not gonna discard. Hopefully they don't have a Helix this turn. It looks like they have a Helix this turn. How unfortunate. And are we just gonna draw lands forever? Is this what's going down? Haris? Yeah, I guess. I think that is the kind of card we want here. Sure. I'm gonna run out this Fungus. I don't see a reason to. Hoping they're gonna go for stock up. I'm gonna let that resolve, and then I'm just gonna try to go for Detect Intrusion with Uharis on the battlefield and counter their board wipe is what I'm hoping. And then hopefully draw like Questing Druid or Wild Ride or Chandra or something from there. We have to play for the high roll slightly here. Yeah, hopefully they just go land Day of Judgment. That'd be good for me. And then I draw Wild Ride. That's the next phase of this plan. Oh, Voice of... Well, certainly makes things awkward. We drew a Questing Druid, though. I like that. Yep, I really like that. Well, okay then. Hitting land counter spells not especially helpful there, but it might be alright. So our Detect Intrusion is kind of useless here, but that's fine. We can cash in our Fungus for a card. We have this Questing Druid. The Day of Judgment would kill their own Voice of Victory, so even if they have it here, I don't think it's too bad. Split up on untapped creatures. Okay, well, I will certainly do this. Authority of the Consoles. Maybe between the Spell Pierce and the Detect Intrusion we can get it done. I don't know. We'll see. Detect Intrusion picking up Questing Druid is really good, I'm realizing. Gonna let stock up go. Spyglass Siren, fine. I probably should have cast it pre-combat. I will Spell Pierce this, and I will go for the Spyglass Siren as well. Yeah, I should have definitely should have cast it pre-combat. But it's okay. And then, just try to grow our things a little bit. A Benevolent River Spirit. I think that's a bin. We just want more of our grindy cards. We have quite a few of them, and we'll see here. Alright, opponent just doesn't have anything. Well, that's nice. Don't even have to think there. Alright, well. Resubmit for game 3. Let's see if we can not get flooded this game. That'd be huge. And this hand, ooh, it's a little bit awkward. We can't cast this Breakout, but we can cast the Inti. Yeah, I think it's a keep. Uharis, sure. And we'll lead on the blue source to cast the Flood Maw. Another tap land from the opponent. Pierce. Alright, well, here's Inti. Hopefully he survives. That'd be nice. Does not look like he is surviving. Tragic. Can we draw anything? Nope. Nope. Nothing at all. Alright. Well, we're just gonna be sitting here for a while, I guess. Maybe they go for a stock up. That'd be nice. They do. How do I want to respond? I think we go Detect Intrusion on that. Because if we draw land, we can play Uharis with Spell Pierce up, which is decent. I mean, you're another Breakout. Come on, deck. We can do this, I believe. That's fine. Yeah, we'll go for the Siren, I guess. Let's hit a land. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Wow. No lands to be had. I guess I got what I wished for. I did say I didn't want to be flooded here, so I shouldn't complain. Space-time anomaly. Oh my gosh. Oh. Well, we've Tron. That's not terribly useful. Yeah, okay. We'll just keep playing our stuff and hope. Space-time anomaly. Well, I guess if they have another one of those, I'm dead. Day of Judgment. Fine. Alright, here comes a green source. Oh, yes. Good. Perfect. We can start casting breakouts. I don't even know what's left in my deck. They just milled a whole bunch, but I'm not even going to think about it. Alright, well, we have at least one Uharis, so that's good. And then, you know what? Let's just, let's plot an Alchemist onto him. Bang. 10 damage. And sure, let's surveil once, just to see. Yeah, we'll graveyard that. We'll cast our Breakout. Try to leave up as much blue mana as we can. And we hit another Uharis. Okay, not bad. Oh, wait. They could be dead, right? If we just assume there's nothing in their hand, we go for the Wild Ride. Hit for 10, hit for 5 on instep. I think we've done it. Nice. Okay, wow. That's pretty cool. We got like so mana screwed for so long and still just were able to come back. That's a good sign. Loading into match 5 against Zerberus. We are 3-1 with Temur Breakout on the draw. And has no lands in it. Let's mulligan. Hand has some lands and some spells. Yep. It's not amazing, but it's fine. Looks like another red deck. Okay. Well, I don't really like my hand against that, I must say. But we'll see what we can do. Opponent with a Firebending Student. That's not one I am used to seeing. Pretty cool. And I mean, well, Warp Arc Quantum Riddler doesn't feel very good, but what can you do? Yeah, we just have no interaction here. Probably gonna lose. Okay, so they're doing like more combo-y kind of stuff. That's cool. That's a lot of damage. They actually gonna be able to kill me here? Is that? Yep, looks like it. All right, fair enough. Ooh, 33 damage on turn 3. Okay, that's pretty neat. Yeah, I like it. I mean, we do get to bring in a bunch of removal, which is all well and good. Cut these Quantum Riddlers. Yeah, I think cut Spell Pierce. Maybe it's decent, but like, whatever. I don't care. And yeah, we're going to be on the play now. We have a bunch more removal. See what we can do. Their deck seems a lot more all-in than a normal red deck, which I think should be good for us as long as we can find our cheap interaction. Let's see here. One land again. A lot of mulliganing this episode, I'm noticing. Yeah, okay. This is fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we can cast this Benevolent River Spirit really quickly and then Pyroclasm after. I think that's what we're going to try to go for. Probably wise to keep a green source here. Yeah, okay. And they do have a Ley Line of Resonance. Okay, that does make sense. Sure, I'll keep that land. All right, no 1-drop is good news. See if they have the Firebending Student. If they do, it's definitely tricky. Just an Emberheart Challenger. Yeah, so I think this is my plan. Just play the River Spirit. I don't hate Questing Druid. I don't think I want 2 of them. Yeah, probably not. We'll just keep 1. And then hopefully we don't die. I mean, we'll see. What is that there? Okay, yeah, so what we're hoping here is that they just, like, play a couple creatures for their turn. And then I can Pyroclasm that away. Like, yeah, just chill out here for a second. I'm not gonna block. I guess if I don't block, I'm dead to bulk up. But, like, if they have bulk up... if I block and they have bulk up, I go to 1. So, like, does that really matter? I don't think so. So, we'll just, let them kill us. They're saying good game, but I didn't die. Oh, but they have the Callous Sword. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Blocking is not really gonna save you there. Okay, cool. So, the red decks, yeah, they got the best of us. So that's fine. So there you have it. 3-2 with Temur Breakout. Honestly, this deck was way better than I thought it was going to be. I sort of wanted to play this as a bit of a meme, but my gosh, was it not. Like, the times that we hit the River Spirit on turn 2 were just absurd. Like, that was really, really hard to beat. And then Uharis was, like, amazing. There was, like, 3 separate games there where opponent was just dead out of nowhere with the Uharis Wild Ride stuff. That was really, really exciting. I, like, want to do a lot more with that combo specifically. Like, as I said before, this is 18 damage completely out of nowhere. You just need 4 mana, enough red sources to pull it off. But yeah, that's super, super cool. The rest of the deck felt fine. Like, Questing Druid was fine. We had a lot of cheap stuff. It was good. I liked the removal suite we got to play. Quantum Riddler, I don't know, did like one thing maybe, whatever. Quantum Riddler's just not that exciting, I don't think, in this deck. Maybe you want like more Intis. Inti felt fine. Even the Aloe Alchemist felt fine. We had like some mana issues. I mean, Verges are a little bit, you know, annoying at times. But mostly it was okay. Mostly our issue was either too few or too many lands, which can happen when your deck has 22 lands in it and not really that much card advantage. You are a little bit more susceptible to that than normal. But yeah, I have a lot of good things to say about this deck, and sideboard, you know, made sense. The Detect Intrusions were good against control. We never saw Chandra, but I mean, we did take down the Lessons deck one time, so that's kind of exciting. That is sort of the big bad right now. But yeah. Let me know what you think. This is a new recording setup for me. I am back home. Normally I record these when I'm at school, so bear with me for a second. Things are going to be pretty different. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.